And welcome back, System Shock Remake, Episode 3, whatever. And so far I would say that the game has, at least when compared to the original one, the level of difficulty is much stiffer, or steeper, however you wanna call it. The enemies give you actually quite scary in their ability to attack you. And I forgot. Oh yeah, that head just popped off. Interestingly enough, if I would have used hand grenade to blow up that thing, it would have destroyed the loot. So, using explosives might not necessarily always be you could say, the most prudent idea. And this one path, of course, opens me a way up there. Cyborg enforcers, how you wanna call them? Cyborg guards. You know, I don't like you. I'm gonna. Was that enough to blow them up? I hope so. And there's one little. And there's a motherfucking mutant. Oh, sorry, I'm quoting Isaac Washington of the House of the Dead Overkill. Perhaps the game, which at one phase had a world record of most swear words in a game. I think it's quite you could say. And the game is also, in a sense, you might say, kind of clunky in the sense that it doesn't really give you even modest level of tutorial about basic gameplay functions of the game, how the game is actually played. So I didn't know how you could actually scrap your items to get stuff. Obviously get scrap, which could then be used to get credits, which then could be used to get more resources, mostly in style of bullets. Because all these little medical stuff around here can be scrapped and then just made use. And also the fact that you can then just vaporize. That seems to be a little bit of a technical quirk thing they added, just to show that yeah, you can come to this location as well, which I say to be is quite interesting little trickery they pulled off. And I personally knew that there was this kind of extra location in the game, but I didn't remember that where it was, and was it over there? Oh, but I'm just gonna go to the medical bay to refill. And now it is not much. It would not be much of a. Yep. In the original one, mutants were of that. Where's that wearing the and in the original one, you could say that the level of difficulty, at least at the middle stage, was much lower because, well, you would have way more ammunition thanks to the little fact that you would have already 2 guns. Well, and that explains why the enemies keep spawning. There's a goddamn spawning stations right on the ground. But that's it. But it's an interesting little detail that they made that kind of thing to show that, yeah, this is how the enemies keep reappearing. SHODAN is bringing them here. So, which I find to be, for gameplay design angle, well, it kind of makes solving gameplay related puzzles worse because the enemies can you are never certain that the enemies that you solve so that you're safe. But it also adds tension to the fact that, yep, SHODAN knows you're there, and she is not. So maybe because it's a computer entity, I should maybe say it instead of her. But, well, any case, it's a case of that was the first time SHODAN makes the appearance, and yep, looks like I am, and that you could say you might call it a scripted event. Hello. Maybe I'm not welcome here, but now I am. I made myself welcome here. I think that was the way I opened the bridge. But that little detail of bridge falling off in, I think in technical term is scripted event. Is not so much. It is very much of a well, System Shock scripted events were nothing new in the gaming. Well, because Doom had implemented them very effectively, mostly by spawning in enemies. But the fact that Looking Glass decided to, instead of just using it as a gameplay element, which is to say bringing enemies and all that into gameplay, they decided to that instead of make use of those them as a story events. Why can't I pick up its gun? And I think that you making use of tried and true technical solution or method, which is to say scripted gameplay events. To actually, in a sense, enhance the story and make the antagonist appear much more active. Is the one which really elevated System Shock into, instead of just a well-made game, into, you could say, complete cult classic. So lots of scrap stuff to do. Again, well, sequel System Shock 2 had lots of this kind of you're recovering little bits of health with chips and whatever food items and junk you found it, and it's quite much of a staple of the first person, or at least this style of first person shooter or action game.
This elevator serves me alone. I have complete control of this entire level. With cameras as my eyes and those as my hands, I will hear insect.
Now, isn't that just beautiful?
To all cyborg units, we are very close to sanitizing my station of the human stain. Once the tachyon mining beam is calibrated, we will begin to purify the human cities of Earth. My first step towards cleansing the planet and allowing our purity to flourish is almost complete. Their rotting corpses will provide the food for my world to grow and prosper.
Well, that gives me a hint of what's the SHODAN's big-scale plan. It is to burn the Earth's surface quite clean with a oh, damn it, maybe I should have eaten those. But now, as I would make it think, SHODAN's goal, or better say her machine, or how would you wanna say it, Citadel Circuit's Saturn. It's several hours away in light speed from Earth. I don't think that laser would be really that kind of useful method of purging the Earth, and not to mention the fact that it would have to be ludicrously powerful laser to actually have any kind of effect on, well, on Earth's surface. So that was, I think that the game was originally written in a way that instead of Citadel being Instead of Citadel being orbiting Saturn, it would be orbiting Earth. In which case the hazard would be much realer because, well, Earth orbit is way closer to Earth than Saturn orbit. So it's a bit of a, you could say, kind of weird little, well, I would call it a, could it be called a little bit of, you could say, writing mistake? Perhaps it could be. Hard to say. But give me some of the creds. Try optimum credits. And here's the armory. Alright, how does this work? Oh. Oh. Oh yes, now I can. Oh, that's how it works. Kind of inconvenient little. Scrap that. Kind of inconvenient little system because very little explanation about how this thing works, which was, well, very much standard fare of the day when this game was made. So they are very much following the stylings. How the hello there, cyborg, getting your head smashed in with a piece of pipe plumbing might not be, but luckily that cyborg seems to be quite slow in the head. Well, saving. Because in the original one there was no autosaves or checkpoints. You had to keep manually saving, and if you were really paranoid you would be manually saving to different slots just in case you know that have you stumbled into some wrong location, have you messed up completely, has your build become completely useless, except in System Shock there is no alternative builds, you just keep getting better and better.
We got one of the regeneration rooms working again. I cut SHODAN's connection to the medical CPU, and that allowed us to fix the cyber override protocol it's installed, without having to worry about it reverting. Yeah, something you won't come out of Cyborg with the regeneration bay console has been accessed. It's too late for too many. But if we
yeah, that's
Squad's remains. Why did we even bother to check? I mean, they were missing for a week. Of course they're dead. We're surrounded by these great mutants, cyborgs.
cameras are no longer present, and that is the most important thing about this stage.
Function cancelled. Standard station restoration procedures online.
Now I am safe at the medical level. I can get killed myself as much as I want, and I will now respawn in here. Cargo lift to free up space. Yeah, and that's also a little gameplay convenience. You can actually now stash items into all kinds of places, because you have, in the original one there was much less clutter to find, and you would have much less incentive to pick up all the soda cans and all that stuff from you. But I'm still progressing further, and the main antagonist has already revealed plot-wise that, yep, SHODAN's taken control of the station. And I do say that it was really great. Well, in the original one, there wasn't that much distortion. They added more, which was in System Shock 2.
Directive to Cyborg F-71. Move mutagen experiment V5 to Beta Grove on the executive level. Let the virus loose in the grove and observe its effects on flora and fauna. Collect samples from the mutated. Kill those who have not shown progress. And we will soon have a perfected strain that will consume the earth, allowing me to reshape the insects in my perfect image.
Yep. SHODAN's gone to the old-fashioned let's kill all humans mode. And which I would think that when the, well, Doom 2 is the closest comparison, even though it uses closest comparison when it came out, or better say, you might say, System Shock had a problem of coming out just exactly when Doom 2 came out. But it also, in a sense, might have, because of commercial sense, it might have had the problem of having a pure, well, even then game marketing wasn't as big deal as it is now, but yeah, it self-exploded itself and me as well. But now, with the amount of regeneration boosts in my use, it ain't that much of a, you would say, big deal. Well, of course, being killed is an inconvenience, as it throws me back to the regeneration shape boot, which might very well have some sort of deadly mutants or cyborgs stomping around. But it's quite clear that SHODAN's things aren't particularly smart, which is good. So now I can play, you could say, much more recklessly about my health. No need to be that worried about getting a game over from this level, which I have just done. I made sure that I don't get a game over from this stage, even if I would be mauled to death by some sort of cyborg monster or exploded to pieces. I am not gonna let... Yep, you died, but now I am just a little bit walk away. Oh yeah, I was being rebuilt. And that same thing, rebuilding system, was also at the sequel, but in that it demanded slight investment from the game's currency system, which made it a bit less useful. And of course that one also had the thing that you would have to find it on the level to then turn it on. Oh, there, that's a data.
Most of the insects have either died or were reborn. Small resistance pockets remain. I will cleanse them from my body soon. Diego has served well and will continue to evolve to suit my purposes. Earth shall receive my magnificence, my glory. My great works will begin once I arrive, and there shall be no other gods before me.
I wonder what would Diego think about it. He wanted to Shodan have no restraint, and Shodan doesn't have any more restraints. But I wonder, well, in the original one, it was clear that the Shodan had remakes Diego to be in, you might say, for more suitable for Shodan's purposes. But in this one, well, it takes a long time, and he was actually, you could say, quite much of a boss fight in the original one, which well, all right, I was teleported from there. No reason, no smart to actually. Yeah, all kinds of. All kinds of defenses being spawned. But I do say that the cyberspace segments have been quite nicely improved from the first one, in which, well, I don't think these were ever meant to be the truly serious big deal of the game's gameplay, but they are quite noticeable part. Not the most important part, not the most prominent part, but you could say decently important part. And the fact that I can't actually you know what, now I know again how I shit, I was in a bad shape. Let's place a decoy. Oh yeah, here's something else big and looks big and important thing. shoot it. Medical force field door deactivated. And no any kind of robot sound telling that what would happen. But that was my goal in here. Jack off. And that's not a verb, or that is a verb, but it's a bit different verb. That's a nice little smooth transition. I guess
Enter the room, insect, and it will become your grave.
now that was a, you could say, in the original one, really good use of scripted event that come here and it will down that enjoy the EMP grenade. And apparently it doesn't kill the robots, but it stuns them. Well, now I know. So Sparky is good. And it's already become quite clear from what's going on in here that Shodan is aware of what is going on in her station. And I really like that they managed to make, in the original one, they managed to make Shodan feel so much more active antagonist than the video game antagonist usually had been, as in to say is that they just sit at the end of the final stage and do nothing. They are mentioned, they may give up a good boss fight and all that, but they usually don't do much anything. It was, at least in this genre, in RPGs and all that, especially in Japanese RPGs by that famous, and if I remember right, Final Fantasy IV had already been released. Antagonist, or at least at Final Fantasy IV, antagonist appeared quite early and kept doing things. Was active. The antagonist in Final Fantasy IV, once it came out, was active. As in, it did stuff. That one didn't have anything important in it. You can't move the shelves. But this room is a computer node room. It has computer nodes in it, CPUs, or however you want to call it. Big things, big important things. And those big important things are what keeps Shodan active around here. Stuff she can it contains stuff that makes her capable of doing things as she does things. Well, let's and that would be, I think it might be a very important thing. I think it smashing that one with a hand-to-hand combat wrench might not be the smartest idea, as it's that they explode and hurt me. Mini pistol, unmodified. I can now take out all the ammo from it and drop it. And because I have already smashed some of the and because I have smashed as I made the cyborg recovery systems non-functional or cyborg building functioning, I can now just, well, smash that thing into complete pieces, but it doesn't recover full of my health, which is kind of nice. Makes it a bit less, you could say, useful as that kind of and a little hop over here to this place. That's a corpse. Yeah, keep shooting, doesn't bother me. But there's more of this. Let's just use the Sparky to blow up the computer nodes far distance.
Who are you? The computer nodes can be repaired. My cameras and sensors scan your body, but you do not match. Cyborgs bring you to an electrified interrogation bench. I will have your secrets, and you will learn more about pain than you ever wanted to know. But you do not match any employee file.
So yeah, that means we have just made ourselves a wrench. We just decided to made SHODAN's plan. Well, we have caused her trouble. A lot of it. Which is, I find to be quite interesting that, yep. The fact that Edward Diego decided to just put us into the basic recovery system without any kind of how would you call it? Alright, is there any cameras over there? I think there are. There's one camera over here, which I'm gonna You are not welcome here.
Snacktron recommends the
Cracko bites.
warning, maybe semi-addictive.
Well, I think I'm gonna do it like this, that because now I can. I don't have complete. I don't think the game is programmed in a manner that you. Well, yep, that proves it. I was just sucker punched by whatever monstrosity over there. Cyborg, most likely. It spawns either mutants or cyborgs. But now, as I have made level a bit more safe to, in a sense, act.
The keys to SHODAN. Not hard to put two and two together regarding the current state of the station. Try and authorized to deal. Help get the station back under control, and you get a clean slate. Looks like we're partners now. And if we play this right, we can work out what Diego wants.
I prefer a quiet station. Thank you.
Well, judging by that message, Tri-Optimum on Earth knows what's going on, and they know that, yeah, this is all awesome thing. They're much saner knowing that SHODAN going completely free and out of their control on their own fancy, really big flagship space station is a bad deal for them. So they've decided that, yeah, we'd rather have someone in there to press delete button on SHODAN, and looks like the hacker being, well, the one move, mostly because of, I would guess, that personal lack of care, decided to just play, hey, well, he was blackmailed, so nothing strange about that. Well, I wonder why, as an intro, it showed that why would it be so? It would be so easy for him to make SHODAN process them all. Let's just try to get to the, you could say, well, that's the mod kit station. I can't get anything from there. Let's close that. Okay. How does this thing work? Oh. Oh, let's see. Use the credits. Open the box, and it closes. use it again, open up the box, it closes. Ah, so it works like that way. Learned that mechanic too. Great, awesome. Well, medical level has been more or less completely purged because of, well, SHODAN's got no cameras here and no computer nodes, so even though she boasts she can repair them, place is about, well, as safe as it could be because of her access has been neutered and she should be blinded. It would be time to start next time going up the elevator and see what's going on around here. Try to start working towards a way to thwart its plot, her plot, of destroying the Earth with giant laser like mad villain would do. See you next time. See ya. A little addition I wanna make that, which I didn't yet figure out, is that this number that flashes around here, looks like to be a 5, will be very important later. At least in the original one. It is a part of the code that is needed to make the whole station to say kaboom, at least in the original one. And I think it might also be in this one. But I just didn't figure out how to make a goddamn marking into my map. At least not yet. Which is kind of inconvenient at this pace. If I can't do the marking. Because that would make that phase of the game much easier. But now I'm ending the episode.